What is up? How we doing? How are we doing today? Bot pinged super late. How we doing? I'll probably sit here and babble for a few. Just because, you know, why not? Why not? How's everybody doing today? We've got a cool build, a J01, a second round or whatever, the newest rendition. Dutchmaster, what's up? Guys, if you haven't checked out Dutchmaster stream, he does some pretty awesome streams. Yeah, it's I built the original one probably maybe a year ago at this point. Beard looking fresh. Thanks, dude. I've got this perfectly straight. I've got like two prominently gray beards. It's happening. I turned 30 in January. So, what's up, Hellbent? But this one in particular is just hilarious because it's like perfectly straight. But yeah, J01. I built the original one, and it was a tough build. It was a very tough build. But we're gonna see if this one's easier. I don't know. Hopefully, according to Jay. For those who don't know, Jay from Top Clock and Prototypist is the designer of this board, and it's a solid board. It's huge. It's heavy. It's everything that I don't need in a keyboard because it's like super wide. It's like a 60. It's like a 70%, but like not compact 60. It's just massive. It's a beautiful board. I'm excited to show it off here in a few. Building it for a friend, Germ, who he sent me this. I built him the Evolve a while back, so thanks for sending your board. For those who don't know, Eric and I build boards for free. You know, do it for the content. We don't charge. In our opinion, there's no point in charging for doing something we love doing. I'm building this one with these Gat Ink yellows with a little box. Interesting. And I've never even tried I mean, they're yellows, right? So they're going to be kind of a short travel distance and like a really nice, like not too light, not too heavy. I mean, personally, I would swap out springs, but I know yellows are kind of the gold standard for linear. Well, I should almost say like a bronzed gold. Like it's not perfect, but most people don't hate yellows. And then these are like the little box style. They're like not box switches, and that everything on the inside is normal, but like they have these little squares. I assume for like alignment. I don't actually know. I was supposed to look it up, but I forgot. Congratulations, I forgot. So yeah, we have got. You want to chill? You want to chill? Quick shout! Our stream is sponsored by some awesome people. By OmniType Project Keyboards, Canon Keys, as well as Kinetic Labs. And then we also are partnered with some really cool people. Didn't type enough words. Partners, Zap Cables, Type B, Smith & Root, and 3D Keeps. I'll give more info on them later. So let's switch down to the top down. So this is, for those who don't know, this is the Crown TKL with GMK Moto Light with lots of artisans by 9 different artisan makers. I don't know if I can name all of them. I can try. All right. Hellbent caps, Prime caps, Sodi caps, CYO Archetype. Oh my God. Why can't Lividity? Destroyer caps. Honestly, no clue. Don't remember either. So yeah. But cool little artisan row. I can't remember. I always forget these two. Cat is alpha caps. That's right. I'm bad with it's hard. Like I have to keep up with keycaps and keycap designers and nightcaps. Thank you, artisan makers and board designers. My brain only has so many. Plus, I have to remember like 90 children's names at work, and you know the human brain can only take so much. So, with the beautiful Monstera desk mat by Genly Queen. So we've got our newly designed gaskets, which I will do everything in my power not to mess up. I'm going to just unplug this. I just unplugged something, so no, the Windows sound came from me. Don't worry about it. Love the paper, the prototypist paper. Whew. Ugh. No complaints here, so we've set that aside. Yeah, I guess I should probably check this PCB before we get 100% into it. That's like what a responsible person does. Got our cable to our JST, and where are the bump-ons? That would be kind of hilarious if this didn't come with bump-ons, but also, like, not that funny because bump-ons are important. Are these them? Nope, that's just a prototypist logo. Maybe they're hidden. Sup, homie? Long time no talk. Yeah, dude. CF Kaner, the real homie, looking out, called me like 3 minutes ago. I was like, hey, whoop. It's okay if I damage the case, alright? A damaged case just gets more love. But I guess if you are an educator, you can go to Tom Thumb and be like, yo, dog, give me that sick booster. And they'll be like, alright, cool, homie, thanks for putting up with children. The J01 PCB. It is black this time. Beautiful PCB. No Alps support. Fine by me. Minimalistic. Although it does have ISO support, but whatever. It's J, I get it. I can't be mad if the person who designed it primarily uses ISO. Are there? I really don't see bump-ons. That's interesting. Maybe it's on the inside of the board. I don't know. Maybe they're pre-installed. Who knows? But yeah, Tom Thumb's like, hey man, you want your COVID booster? Come get it. Oh, this thing is beautiful. Whew. This thing is a beaut. Oh yeah, this thing is. So this is for, I think he's in chat. Yeah, spread the germ. Yep. I've looked at this very briefly to look at the layout so that Germ and I could talk about layouts. Yeah, this thing is beautiful. I am going to just letting you know now, Germ. I'm going to use this for like a week. And then I'll send it to you. I promise I'll send it to you, but I need time with it. So maybe it's in the box? I don't know. They're not bump-ons. Like, they're not bump-ons. Maybe, are they in here? No, this came from a different package. Maybe they're in the box? Hold on. No bump-ons. Interesting. I assume that is some sort of oversight. Whatever. All right. No straight to the desk. So let's get this thing. Ooh, torque screws. Let's get this thing opened up and have some fun with it. Like I said, we've got our GAT yellow inks today. Lube with 3203. Lubed them up last night. They feel great. Is this the size? Nope. Is that a silver Mr. Suit? What did you build with? Is Mr. Suit, is that a board? Isn't that a matrix board? If that's a matrix board, then no, it is not. This is a Crown TKL that is currently not plugged in. OW Labs board. Then no, because I don't know what OW Labs. But Sean Kingston Vivo, hello, hello. Again, I can't keep up with all the boards. I'm trying. I really do. Like, I do try. But man, it was being a keyboard content creator and staying on top of things is it's tough nowadays. I know, it's like, oh, woe is me, keyboard, I can't keep up. But man, it's tough. There's so many good things. It's kind of what we were talking about last week. Where it's like, there's so many good things coming out now. That I like that the rail is screwed in. That's a nice touch. That's different. But there's so many good things nowadays that like you're probably okay not like some like yes, there are some boards that are hype, but there are also a lot of boards that are just as good that may not be hype but are still awesome. Also, if you build your board exactly how you want it, you're probably going to like it more than some of the other boards. Like, don't get me wrong, I've built a lot of really cool boards. I've built an Evolve, a J01. This will be my second. I've built a Bauer. I've built lots of 60%, key colts, irons, all that stuff. But this is just, ooh, there we go. Like one of my favorite, yes, an Evolve. Is there a VOD for that somewhere? Yeah, it's actually the same person that sent me this. If we have a mod, can someone look that up and post that video? It's somewhere in our YouTube. There's that. I don't have like that on hand, but it's there somewhere. Maybe I should probably, I'll check the PCB first. I should be smart. Thank you, Dutch. Is this down? No, it's up. All right. I've built a lot of things, but currently my favorite board... Now, obviously, yes. Guess what? I'm super biased, but my favorite board right now is the polycarbonate Bacchus 60. Some boards, but like the other one, like this Crown top mount. That's a long JST. It is incredibly long. But top mount TKL, so, you know, it's fantastic. I don't want that. I want EK there. All right, J01 RV. Some boards are really good. Some boards are maybe overhyped. There are a lot of good boards, though. At the end of the day, I will take a good board. Did I miss that one? Or is that not? Oh, this is why we test. Is this not working? Maybe that's like a control me. I assume this board's in VIA. Let's just make it R and see if that works. Well, this is why we test PCBs. Haven't seen Switch Hitter in a minute. Yeah, dude. I still like it more than most things. Dude, rip. There's not like something wrong with the F9 like normally, right? Oh, this is why we test PCBs. I guess I should do it from this side. Unfortunate, but the good news is we have another PCB. So not all hope is lost. How is everybody's Saturday going so far? Let's just start with F9, make sure. Yep. Hard rip on that PCB. I might be able to fix it, but I'd rather start with a clean one. So for those who don't know, I just have EK Switch Hitter. It's a great program. You can use VIA, but honestly, I guess I just like EK better. Maybe I've just been using it more. I need to actually pay attention to these. No idea what that is. I don't know what that's programmed to, but we'll see. Because that could just be programmed delete. Is that another? Is this 2? Let's test it. Really? That's unfortunate. We're gonna have to just hot that one because that's both PCBs with problems. Y had some chatter. Let's clear it, go back to Y. Yeah, we're good on Y. Yeah, that's both PCBs sent had at least one dead switch. All right, that's MO1. And control. All right. And let me test. It's going to be this one. All right, so we're doing that. And okay. Yeah, but that's both PCBs having problems, so unfortunate. We'll have to short that one. Cool Artisans, thank you. Yeah, that's strange. One was on one end and one was on the other. So like one was the F9 on this PCB. And then the other was right here on the delete. That's what this one is. So we're going to keep going. I'm going to make it work. So, but worth noting, if you are a J01 user, I would, if you bought the J01, I would double check your I would double check your PCB before doing it, because I just went 0 for, maybe I'm just super unlucky, but I went 0 for 2. And I only did like part of that PCB. Sorry, I just joined. What keyboard are you building? I'm building a J01. The newest release. We have just discovered a small problem with the PCBs, but not an unfixable problem. It might be annoying for someone who is new to building, but also if a J01 is your first board, I honestly don't, you can do everything you can, but I would try and build something else before that. So we've got our USB. Whoops. Sorry. Look at that cutout. Stop focusing there. Come on. Focus right here. That cutout is clean. Clean. All right. So we've got our carbon fiber plate. For those who have joined recently, this is the top of the board. It is a super clean build. But at the moment, I am a little underwhelmed because as of right now, I love Jay. This is absolutely nothing nothing against Jay, but both PCBs have not worked and the bump-ons were not in the packaging, so I don't know what's happening right now with it, but currently that's what it is. That's the situation. So I need to get stabs going for this. Lubed. I will be lubing with 205 grade 0 along with BDZ. We have got GMK stabs. This is 6.25, right? Let's just do our discount double check to make sure. Yep. So, and for those curious, this is not a personal build. This is a build for a customer and friend of mine, Germ. And despite what happens, we're going to try and build the best board we can, despite any hiccups along the way. Because that's what we're always going to try and do. Strive to do your best, as best you can. So we've got 4 stabs going in this. We have a 2U backspace user, which will limit my use of the build, Germ. So you'll probably get it back a little earlier because I did forget we're using 2U backspace. But again, this is not for me. And it doesn't need to not every board needs to be for me. We are going to clip our stabs. Where is... There it is. So for those who have never used GMK stabs, I will zoom in. So GMK has these little legs that poke up, and you can see them right there. These little, like, extendo legs. We're just going to try and cut these off as flush as possible. And what that's going to do is prevent the stab from smacking the PCB and making any unpleasant noises. So, for those who have been able to tune in to our Tuesday streams, have you been liking... You don't like stabs to smack the piece? I mean, not ideally, no. But, you know, to each their own. It's all about preference. But no, for those who have tuned into our Tuesday streams this month, let me know what you think about the new setup. Do you miss the 2 streams a week during the week? Or are you kind of liking this, the more condensed... into 1 episode format? A little bit longer of episodes, but a little more condensed, less dead air. How are you guys feeling about it? I loved having Mech Mauler on. And honestly, he was someone that I had in mind when we did this, because the first time we did it, granted, it was, I know he had like just started streaming, but that was someone where the dead air didn't come from like us not being, him not being a good guest. It just came from like, I think maybe 2 hours may have been too long for what was happening. But when we put him in the situation where we're like, we have a plan, we know what we're going to be talking about, we have this, it's going to be 45 minutes, so it's going to be jam-packed of all this stuff. Right at the end of the interview, right after the call ended, I was like, hey, this was great. Like, this was a lot better. Like, just because I talked to someone, 30 minutes less than I normally would, I would rather have a better 45-minute conversation with someone than a, 2 drawn-out ones. So, honestly, kind of missed the 2 streams. I give the decision, though. When there's a good interview, I'll watch the 2.5 hours of that shit, like the Huey stream. Yeah. And that's where that's where sometimes we might lose some content, where it's like, okay, well, maybe we just come back and bring them on again. Because yes, there are times where the interview could be longer. Like, there are some people that can just talk, and that's fantastic. Like, I love when the guests come on and it's like, next thing you know, it's like, oh, 2 hours have passed and I didn't even realize that. Those are great interviews. But you kind of have to take the good with the bad. Not that people are bad, but sometimes you don't gel as much, and sometimes, we have it set up to where we can bring people on for 30 to 40 minutes and then go back to just myself and Eric. or we have it set up where, hey, if we want to continue this, we could just keep going. You know, we kind of set it up in a hybrid situation so we can... A lot of Mechs on Deck is feeling out the situation, feeling out how it's going live. A lot of it sometimes is, how are we doing? Are we mentally there? So, you know, I'd love to say that we can both give our best 100% of the time, but some, you know, people have our off days. Sometimes one of us is maybe distracted or just tired or whatever. And that just gives us the opportunity to ensure we are putting forth our best effort. So there's a nice transition from news to interview. Having 3 picks for K of the Keyboard of the Week is great too. Yep. That was fun. I enjoy judging other people's boards, especially with other people though. The new format is really fluid. Kind of feels like a talk show moving to a new segment. That was Eric's main point. I didn't really. This was all kind of Eric's brainchild. We are both big fans of the Pat McAfee show, and we both kind of like how that, you know, the segments and the guests and all of that, everything just kind of flows. So that's where that kind of came from. But yeah, it was kind of Eric's brainchild, and I enjoy it. It may make it a little goofy for someone we don't have on. You know, we discuss like, oh, if we've never had them on, maybe we hang out with them in Discord for 20 minutes a couple days before so we can get to know them, because one of the harder parts of interviewing people is, at least especially in the old format, is you have 15 minutes to strike up a connection with these people so it's not awkward, because sometimes, you know, not everyone knows this, but some people don't mesh. Some people are harder. Some people, when you put a microphone in front of their face, they kind of tense up. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people are better at talking than others. And so a lot of times it's tough, because you have to kind of go, hey, we need to create a chemistry in about 15 to 20 minutes. And again, there's all the external factors of, you know, oh, I have to, you know, if I'm in a bad mood that day, I just have to shove that shit down and get to work. Or, you know, maybe I'm feeling it, but maybe our guest is a bit too nervous, and, you know, I can be very extra. Maybe their introvertedness is not going to match up and all of that. So, yeah, I like how the new format flows for sure. We talked about how I went on the first time, and you and Eric talked about SEO, and then we held that topic until I got to the next day. But with the new format, you both can talk about a subject and the guest can chime in. Yeah, that was a big point for me, was I didn't like how some topics are really good and you want to discuss that, but you can't with the guest without it seeming like you're talking about the same thing for 2 whole streams. So that now it's you bring it in where it's like, okay, now I can have, you know, if the guest wants to talk about it, we can continue this conversation. If we want to talk about something else with a guest, then we can talk about something else with a guest. And just, it leaves a lot of, we can call audibles more. Eric and I are better on the fly. We're kind of better at figuring things out on the go. Our episodes used to be very structured, and it was pretty boring, I'll say. Like, it wasn't, our personalities didn't get to come through, and when we started kind of saying, oh, let's wing it, at first it felt lazy, and then we realized, oh no, we're just adapting. We're doing what we want to do. We're doing what we need to do. We're doing what we're better at. Because sometimes with interviews, you know, if you come in and you have if you have a guest on and you have 20 prepared questions, do you even need to be like if I was going to interview someone and I had 20 questions I was going to ask them, at that point, do I even need to be there? Like, they can just sit there and read the question. It's kind of like, I mean, I see those with like on YouTube, excuse me, where they're like, they just read a question and then answer. And I'm like, well, I could just do that, and we can just do that through Mix on Deck, and it can just be a fucking YouTube video. But no, like, I want to have the discussion. And I think that's where, like, Eric and I work really well as a team on that, because I'm very good at making friends and making personal connections and keeping things light, and Eric's very good at keeping things on track and keeping me in line and introducing different aspects or different sides of different angles of thought. And we are both, especially Eric, we're both very good at arguing, especially Eric. So even if we have to take a position that we wouldn't normally take, Eric will take that position and argue it or bring up something that I didn't think of. And it just flows really, really well together. And so when you increase that third person, happy Saturday, glad I could catch the J01 stream. Hell yeah. Thank you, Froth Boss. And Crafted Cables, thank you for the Prime sub. Sorry I missed that. And then Grandma's Sunday Dress, thank you for the follow. Also, sweet name. Kinnick, hello, hello. Getting the BDZ on here. But we've got Davis we had a scheduling we were going to have Apiary on next week, but we had a small scheduling conflict, so we moved her to the following week. And we're bringing on Davis. Davis came on a little while ago, and Eric was not available for the stream. And Davis is just a fucking awesome person. And Eric is very excited to get a chance to have her on. So excited to have Davis from 3D Keebs on. Don't know exactly what we're going to talk about yet. I usually think of that over the week. I like to let the weekend happen before I start picking. For those that don't know, typically, for the most part, I come up with what we're going to talk about that evening. And I get a lot of help from KeebNoob, our moderator, with the dramas. And then that's typically, so I don't know if exactly what we'll talk about, but Eric and I will typically kind of go over exactly how we're going to what we're going to bring up, what we agree on, what we disagree on, and then go from there. It's fun. Noe KB, hello, hello. Just wrapping up stabs. And then I'm going to have to remind myself how to put the gaskets on. Because low-key kind of forgot. Come on. There we go. This so we use Stream Beats quite a bit for our stream, and this is like a new album from them, and I gotta say I'm about it. I'm enjoying it. All right, there's like 900 spacebar steps, so which one am I using? Does anybody else have any cool builds going on this week? Anybody expecting some stuff in the mail this week? Did anybody get in on Dracula? I heard that was unique. And by unique, I mean not very unique, but a bit tough for some people. Some pewter switches? Hell yeah. Fucking sunflowers are back in stock, so pretty excited about that. Drac extras, but couldn't snag any child kits. Hard rip. It happens. Any highlighter kits available? I was assuming it would be a little bit better than the way it was, but I heard, I assumed they would bought a lot, but I heard it wasn't just the fact that there weren't that many, it's the fact that Shopify was just like, Shopify basically shit itself, causing many an issue. What the hell? Oh, come on, Stab. And all right, let's get this one in. I've tried 5 different ways to check out. That sucks. Yeah, I didn't have Apple Pay, and that seems like the only one that let through right away. Hard rip. Did I put this? I built this stab wrong. I had to use GPay. Did you get one though? Also, why do I feel like I'm struggling so hard to get these goddamn stabs in? It's like 3 stabs, I got it. 4 stabs, time to struggle. Yeah, I got the base. Hell yeah. I like it. I mean, it's cool, but it's, as I think Scott Waters said, it's one of those sets that I will appreciate from afar. I know Hellbent has it, so I'm excited because I'm building a feature board for him. Shocker, because I'm pretty sure I've built every single one of his boards, and honestly, I take a lot of pride in that. It's heartwarming and humbling to me that there is someone that every single board he gets, he sends to me, and I appreciate that. But he's got Dracula, and I'll at least get a chance to see it in person. If he brings it, if I'd be like, hey bro, at least let me see it. Come on. Alright, we finally got our goddamn stabs built. It only took an hour. I told my wife, I was like, this is probably going to be a longer stream. Oh, look at that. It's got a little nook. A little... Maybe I'm just playing Animal Crossing too much, but I'm like, it's got a little nook and cranny. I think we got it. Sort of, maybe. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Well, I don't even remember where I put the switches. Do the yellow inks feel different from black? I mean, the spring's different. That's going to be the biggest difference. Honestly, I haven't typed on blacks in so long. They feel good, though. They're very smooth. I don't really need this on there right now, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I remember. Especially since I'm just testing stabs. Yeah, that's right. You saw it in person. We are good on stabs. All right. Now we can get to the fun part. Before we get to the horrible part of putting this thing together, because this thing it's just difficult. All in all, this board is actually once you put it together, it's great, but it's not like a tinkering build. It's not one that you can just like pop open and mess with whenever you want. But again, I don't need that until the end. Just double checking. Alright, let's tidy up space. Because I don't need half this shit out. I'm going to take like a quick 2-minute reorganize and stand up and stretch real quick since I've been sitting for an hour straight. So I suggest grab some water, stand up, stretch. I'll be back in like 3 minutes. I said 2, but now I mean 3. We back. Sometimes you just need to stand up, stretch, grab some water. Highly recommend. Sitting down for too long is not healthy. But we are going to get some anchor switches, solder those in, pop the rest of the switches in. This carbon fiber plate's it's got some wiggle, so it's usually best. I watch manga. Hello, hello. It's usually best to get them in some corners so you don't have a struggle putting them in later down the line. It solidifies everything in place. Especially with like an FR4 plate. Holy shit. That's like the fourth person that's like first time chat from viewer. Welcome to all the new people. This is Mex on Deck. I watch manga. Thank you for the follow. I am one half of Mex on Deck. My co-host and best friend Eric is usually here on Tuesdays. We do a kind of variety stream of interviews and a chat between us about the goings on of the community. For those who are just joining, this is a J01 build with GAT ink yellows, carbon fiber plate. The inks are lubed with 3203. An interesting choice because usually 3203 is for tactiles, but I kind of like it on this because like these are already smooth and lubed, so it's just enough to kind of make everything even. It's like everything's just made a little better. I put a little more put a little more lube, just a touch more lube on the stabilized switches, but not much. I'm gonna be, at least this part I'm gonna do upside down because, well, I'll try, maybe not. That gasket scares me. I should turn that on. That's helpful. So, but yeah, we do a Tuesday 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Central Time. Eric and I, we do the first half is just a chat about what's happening in the community, or we just kind of discuss a topic and dive deep, and then we bring on someone from the hobby, whether it be a vendor or another content creator, keyboard designer, keyset designer, artisan maker, friends, whatever. Oh yeah, I forgot about the whole glue thing. Well, we'll get it right. We'll figure it out. If not, I have a desolder gun. I think I did with tape last time, but like these gaskets are also better than the other ones. What are you doing? Sorry, my dog's just like scratching at shit. So, going to need to get a new tip soon. Is this? God, I hope this is not. Yeah, this is wiggly already. Let's fix that before we get too deep. Ceramic tip tweezers are your friend. Actually, I will be right back because maybe I did put them in already. Did I? Or did I put them in wrong? I don't think I put in enough. I'll be right back because I remember I grabbed batteries for this. So be right back. You want to chill? I love you. Chill. So this thing's great, by the way. It's just a little Honeywell desk fan. Highly recommend. My wife got it for me. It was like $10, and it prevents me from inhaling solder fumes. Also, it's just nice to have a fan sometimes. My only complaint with this fan is it's like all or nothing. It's like, oh, I have any amount of power? Cool. Time to use all of it as fast as possible. But that's fine. You can also do like USB power. That's not all the way in. Like I said, we're just getting some anchor switches in here. It's just going to keep the plate together a lot easier. It's going to make putting the rest of the switches in a lot easier. Keeps the plate stiff, keeps the PCB and plate from bowing against each other. And I think that's all of them. So I can turn this off for now. And get this going. You know what? Let's do a fun game. We'll do a little AMA. Let's ask me a non-keyboard related question, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Do something fun, because honestly my least favorite part of builds is putting switches in plates. Something you don't know about me that has absolutely fucking nothing to do with keyboards. On a keyboard stream. Or you know what, if you do want to ask me about keyboards, go for it. Break the rules. Rules are meant to be broken. Stepped caps, because this person is a gentleman and a scholar. Where did the motorcycle babe go? Where did the motorcycle babe go? Don't know. Inform me. This is a strange setup for a joke. Or maybe it's not. Maybe you're actually asking where the motorcycle babe went. I don't know. I need to review what the bottom row is. But I believe it's 1.25s and then two 1.5s. Boy howdy. Rice Pixer, thank you. What's your hobbies outside of keyboards? D&D, sneakers, photography, video games, and I watch a lot of TV, like a lot of media. Cooking with my wife, baking with my wife, cleaning up dishes instead of cooking with my wife. What is this? This is not... Did it run out? Whoops! Part of this might be muted. Uh-oh. Did you find a big learning curve with photography? Sort of. I mean, once it was... It was kind of like once I figured out the triangle and learning the big rule of photography, which is 99% of photography is lighting. The rest is, actually taking a picture with a camera. Once I figured that out, like, I don't take pictures with, like, I don't light my pictures, like, with actual light bulbs or anything like that, or with actual, like, professional lighting. I don't do any of that because I have some lights, but usually I just use, the best light source ever, which is the sun. I guess that makes me slightly less experimental, but I've had a lot of fun. I don't get to take many pictures of people. I'd like to do that more, but again, COVID. But it's been fun, crafting. You can create a cool looking picture based on maybe some extra props, all that stuff, like product photography, like with keyboards and stuff. I've had a good time taking pictures of food. That's fun. Other than that, I mean, it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. I wouldn't say I am a good photographer by any means, but I take some decent pictures from time to time. I take a lot of pictures of my dogs, and enjoy that quite a bit. So I need to make sure. What's a 1.25? I guess that's a 1.5. Oh, I have a 1.25, like, ready. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's find a 1.25 in here. Yep. All right. Sweet. Wish my dog would sit still for a photo. That's the fun part, is you get like 5 seconds, and then it's like, all right, go time. Bye. Time to leave forever. So it's been, it's been fun. You have to critique yourself. You have to tell yourself what's good, what's bad. You have to look at past pictures and see what you did wrong. You have to take critique and strive. Editing's a whole other thing. Lightroom, all that jazz. Got batteries for my damn fan. Didn't turn it on. There. Slappa the base. 28 months. Holy fuck, Clatco. Damn, dude. Hell yeah. Thank you for the resub for 28 months. God. It's fucking weird to think about. We've been around for 28 months. Like, it's weird. I've been talking to people, and I'll reach out to someone I haven't spoken to in like a year. And they're like, yeah, I'm not even really in the hobby anymore. I'm like, damn. Like, shit's changing. Feels like yesterday. Yeah, it's strange. Like, we've been in the hobby, you know, the hobby's expanded so much since we have been in it. You know, funnily enough, when Teja first started streaming, I had a first on mine for Teja. It was crazy. I was one of his like first 10 subscribers. I used to watch him all the time back when he had like maybe 15, 20 people watching him. Well, not that doesn't happen anymore. Homeboy has really perfected his craft. And with perseverance, hard work, good content, and a little bit of luck, he's doing this full time. And I think, you know, he's done more for the hobby than I'd say 90% of people in this hobby, 95% of people in this hobby, and bringing it to the mainstream. But it's funny to me that, you know, summer 2018, I would watch him and I was like, yeah, it's cool, chill stream. There's like 15, 20 people. You can really just chat and talk. And then we started streaming and he had already kind of blown up by that point. But it's just weird that, you know, people come in and go, oh, dude, Max on Deck, man, I've been watching you guys for years. I'm like, what? Years? Has it really been like a year? Like, what the fuck? Like, we celebrated 2 years on Twitch, I think. Yeah, 2 years as a channel. And that celebration feels like it was yesterday, but that was what? That was 7 months ago. So we're closer to 3 years than 2. And Top Clack's been around for fucking ever. I've said this before, but in 2018, I got married and I got really into the hobby in like January, February of 2018. And January of 2018 is when I was like, I'm getting married. I should lose a bunch of weight. And so I started walking all this time. And then I got really into the hobby. So I said, okay, well, how can I pass the time while walking? I'll just listen to Top Cat Clack episodes. And it baffles me that, you know, when you start in this hobby, there are the people that stream to a decent amount of people, or that stream all the time or have been around the hobby, they're like the celebrities of the hobby, right? And you get in, and I've been in a lot of hobbies where the people that are these people that make content and all that stuff are like untouchable. You can't talk to them. It's impossible to get a conversation with them. And one thing I thought was so cool is I was like, oh, I can just talk to these people. But they're still like, you know, borderline celebrities in my head. Of doing all this cool content. Now, like, I've been on Top Clack. Eric's been on Top Clack a bunch of times. Like, I'm good friends with Quakeums. Eric and Quakeums are like best friends. I'm building a fucking board by Jay right now. We've had lots of people. We've had people come on our stream that it was their first time being on a stream, and then they went on to have a successful stream career. it's like crazy to me to think that I used to listen to this stuff and think, man, it would be cool to do something like that. And get to talk to some of these people that I'll never get a chance to talk to the point now where I've met a lot of these people in person. The subreddit does have a lot of nice people, but this hobby does have a lot of nice people. I unsubbed from mechanical keyboards, mainly because I didn't find it to be a positive place. There's just too much negativity. Like, I looked, you say anything and people just start, mouthing off and death threats and shit like that. And I'm like, man, that's not what this is a fucking hobby about building keyboards. It's already a niche hobby. Why are you threatening the livelihood of people? Like, really like the Facebook groups. I don't have a Facebook. I got off of Facebook a long time ago, and like, there's some things I'm sure I miss, but all in all, quick story time. A friend of mine invited me to her wedding via Facebook message, and this was at a time where I had already pretty much stopped getting on Facebook all the time, and like a little bit later, like, my mom calls me and she's like, hey, you pissed off this person because you're ignoring them. And I was like, what do you mean? And I look and I've got this super long aggressive message from her that's like, hey, like, it's so rude to just completely ignore a wedding invitation. And I was like, what the fuck? Who invites someone to their wedding via Facebook message? Like, I get that evites are a thing, but you basically texted me a fucking wedding invitation, which maybe I'm being extra, but I feel like if it's a wedding, you should probably go the extra mile and just fucking mail that shit. So you can get that save the date. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being extra, but all I know is it should at least, at minimum, be a fucking email. Not a goddamn Facebook message. Anyway, that's why I got off Facebook. Yeah, see, pot liqueur. I mean, I'm 29, so I'm not a boomer. I'm a millennial. But, like, I still think wedding invites should be by mail. Mechanical Keyboards USA is nice. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I do think a lot of it is the younger crowd in the hobby. Sometimes, I like to say with some children at work, sometimes the younger crowd, they're just feeling out their feelings. All right. Let's see if we can put this bad boy together. Guess if they're trying to save money. Man, I just fucking we just printed off our invitations on nice letter stock at Kinko's. Or maybe it was Etsy. What was it? Was it Etsy? The wedding invitations. Etsy, that's what it was. But it was still, like, super inexpensive. Okay, I don't have to do this part yet. There we go. And then... Alright, where's my ceramic tweezers? I got it all but this one little side. Think we got it. Think we got it. This build is going... Took me a second to realize who this is from. Yes, Starstone. This is going significantly better than the last one. I think the gaskets are a much needed improvement. But again, Starstone, I was saying this. I'm going to have to discuss because both PCBs were messed up. Both PC... Oh, I forgot to fucking do that. I'll do that. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll do that before I ship it back out. But yeah, both PCBs had dead spots. Also, there were no bump-ons on this. There were no bump-ons in the packaging. We get it? We got it! Boom! Super pumped about this. All right. Another 2 minutes stand up. Yeah, so this one, the delete key right here doesn't work. I'll fix it before I ship it back out, but put together. I'm excited. So I'm going to tidy up my desk and stretch for a second. I will be right back in just a moment. Perestroika. Okay. Whoops. That's a rip. I'll put this in later. I seem to have forgotten a pretty vital part of the build. You think it'll work without it? Maybe. Maybe just through magic, the PCB will just start working. Professional build stream. I'll put that in a little bit. Maybe I'll put some caps on it first, and then we'll go back and do it. I'm impatient. Yeah. I thought the same thing. New wireless daughter board. Yeah, dude. Unnecessary. Dude, I'll just toss it in the trash. It's good. It's fine. It'll work. People don't actually type on their keyboards, remember. I think this is going to look so good. I think it's going to balance super well with the gold. I think because it is monochrome, not monochrome, but it is one solid color, the F row will look nice and clean. The macro row, if you will. Bluetooth edition, hell yeah, dude. Except you don't even have to plug in a Bluetooth thing. It just works. You just, whatever screen you're looking at, that's what it types to. It figures it out. Jay has gone above and beyond the call of keyboards. I know you guys come for quality keyboard content and building boards that won't work. That's what you come here for. Building boards that when you plug them in, they don't work. Fucking 2U backspace giving me a problem. It's biting me in the ass. Like always. I don't know which... There's a 3 in here. I don't... Dude. Got a dozen shelf-only boards. What's another one? Exactly. I have to look up GMK Perestroika. Because I don't know where this 3 goes. There's just a 3. But I love this set. It looks so good. Okay, the 3 is in the P position. Zap, what's up, dude? I heard you brought the Bucka 60 to the meetup. Bucka made an appearance. I hope you're still enjoying that board, man. All right, making sure. Skipping those. What is it? I don't even like red usually. Yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of red either, but this, whew, this board looks incredible. This set, this board, this, it's going to be hard. At least I get to take the set with me, like, because this is my set of Perestroika. I'm gonna miss the board, but at least I'll get to keep the set because this already looks incredible, and I'm not even done putting shit on it. Accept. AO, where's my AO at? Where are my scoops? There they are. And what are we doing? We're gonna do delete home. We're just doing all. Fuck it, we're doing all row 1. Oof. This looks amazing. And it's a little brighter on screen. It's a little bit more purpley, but this looks so good. Like, holy shit. Like, hold on, let me. Ugh. This looks a little more accurate. Yeah, I'd say so. I'm debating that. This looks really freaking clean. I'm excited. You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure the last J01 Starstone, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure the last J01 was built with inks too. But those were black inks. Whew. Top. Yeah, this looks fantastic. This no bump on, so it's a little slip and slide. But yeah, this is stock spring too. That's right, black ring stock spring. Yeah, I'm excited to use this and make a lot of typos because I will 100% forget where things are. Let's do a sound test. So again, for those who don't know, the reason I'm not I don't typically type even with the keyboard plugged in to begin with, but it's not like it would work because I forgot the fucking connector to the JST connector. Yeah, this just looks super clean here. Let's complete the look. How many can we get on here? Boom. Look at that. 2 pens. 2 pens. For your ambidextrous needs. So, anyway, stock spring GAT ink yellows. Let me mute that. Stock spring GAT ink yellows. I did lube the springs with 105. I lubed the housing with the housing and stem with 3203 as per request by the customer. This is a carbon fiber plate and an isolation mount J01. The gaskets are so much better than the original ones. GMK Perestroika, brand new, never mounted until now. 1 desk mat and an RE20. I'm going to mute this and we'll do a quick sound test. It sounds fantastic. J01 sound really, really fucking good. It's quiet. It's quiet. That isolation. These switches are not super loud, but it's really quiet compared to a lot of other builds that I have done. But it's very pleasant. It's very, very nice sounding. It's subtle. Like that space bar, super deep though. You get that nice like doom. This is a really fucking nice build. With the GAT yellows. Everything about this is just clean. I love this board. Would I personally buy this? No. Mainly because one, it's kind of a 65%. Two, it's just big. It's big. I would probably get a J02, but I can appreciate that this exists. It's not a layout that I really care about, but I love the design. I think it looks super clean. I kind of like it better without the badge. Like the other ones have the badge, I think up here. But man, the carbon fiber plate just warms everything up. You seen the Blackout J02? Yes, I saw that a while back, and I think he like teased it a while ago. It's a great looking board. Again, it's one of those I can appreciate. I'm very curious to know. I'm gonna hit up Jay and hit up the customer because the PCB I'll have to rework and get that working, and then there's no bump-ons for this, but I am sure that they can be very happy about this build once I get it 100% working and put the fucking JST cable in. Anyway, our stream is brought to you by some awesome sponsors. We have any subtle sound differences you notice between this and the J02? I've never built a J02. I've just built the original J01. I'd say they sound pretty much the same. I think this is a little bit brighter because the gaskets are not as wide and big. So but it's a lot easier to put together, and I actually kind of like boards that are just a little bit brighter. But first off, we've got Project Keyboards. You can go to mexondeck.project.link. They've got lots of pre-orders that you can get in on. I know you can pre-order GMK Stealth and Noir and Dolch Round 5, so go check that out. Cannon Keys, currently they are selling GMK Soya Milk, GMK Rudy Round 2, lots of PBT sets in stock. And some really cool desk mats that just launched on there as well. So go check that out. Kinetic Labs. They've got the Polycaps Corn and some of my favorite linear switches, the Hippo switches, which I am a huge fan of. And then, of course, Omni-Type GMK DMG Round 3. It ends tomorrow. So if you really want DMG, go get in on that. We also have some amazing partners with Smith & Rune. You can go check out the Smith & Rune. The Iron 180 should be shipping out soon, which means the extras should be coming out relatively soon as well. And then they still have the polycaps or polycarbonate Iron 165 coming soon. Zap Cables. Check out Zap Cables. The Bumper Round 2 is running right now. It's a fantastic board. Highly recommend. So check out the Bumper, as well as if you're looking for some cables. That's what I use. This is a Zap cable. Type Beast, go to typebea.st for an amazing newsletter, super non-invasive, about once a month, and you get a nice little update on what's happening in the community. And then, of course, 3D Keeps. Go to 3dkeeps.com. They just got sunflowers back in stock. Some other things. And then the Zyko desk mat's coming in November 1st. So go check all of that out. So I'm very happy with this board. I'm very excited to ship this off to get their feedback on it once I get it up and running. So Mech Mauler is streaming. Hell yeah. So we're going to go throw this to Mech Mauler. So Tuesday we'll have Davis from 3D Keeps coming on. Starting at 8, we'll have our normal. It's going to be our usual stream, and then next week I will actually be building again. Eric is out. I will either be building a Keycolt 160 or a Hive 60 again with my own build in it. So only U.S. vendors for Zyko mats. It's only 3D Keeps. Like there's no other vendors. So sorry if that is annoying, but that's as of right now. That's not. I'm not saying it's the only time we're ever going to run this mat. We might expand, but for right now, it's an in stock option. So it's not a. If I said group buy, I didn't mean that. So, but we are going to raid Mech Mauler. So guys, thank you very, very much for joining. I'm going to do a typing test video for this, and I'll have that up next week. This stream will be up on YouTube as well, and I'll take some pictures. So be sure to check us out on Instagram. I'll take some pictures of this build. So again, thank you. Tuesday, 8 p.m. I'll be back with Eric. Davis is coming to join us for that stream. And thank you very much for coming and hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and party on.